Hello, I am recording a video and today's topic is IP address. An internal protocol address is a numerical label such as 192.0.2.1 that is connected to a computer network that uses the internet protocol for communication. An IP address serves two main functions: network interface identification and location addressing. Internet Protocol version 4 IP4 define an IP address as a 32-bit number. However, because of the growth of the internet and the depletion of available IP4 addresses, a new version of IP6 using 128 bits for the IP address was standardized in 1998. IP6 deployment has been ongoing since the mid 2000s. IP addresses are written and displayed in human readable notation such as 192.0.2.1 in IP4 and 2001 DB DB8 colon 0 colon 1234 colon 0 colon 567 colon 8 colon 1 in IP6. The size of the routing prefix of the addresses is designated in CIDR notation by suffixing the address with the number of significant bits. The IP address space is managed globally by the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority and by 5 regional internet registries responsible in their designated territories for assignment to local internet registries such as internet service providers and other end users. IP4 addresses were distributed by IANA to the RIR in block of approximately 16.8 million addresses each, but have been exported at the IANA level since 2011. Only one of the RIR still has a supply for local assignment in Africa. Some IP4 addresses are reserved for private networks and are not globally unique. Network administrator assign an IP addresses to each devices connected to the network. Such as assignment may be on a static, fixed or permanent or dynamic basis depending on network practices and software features. Function: an IP address serves two principal functions. It defines the host, or more specifically its network interface, and it provides the location of the host in the network and thus the capability of establishing a path to that host. Its role has been characterized as follows: a name indicates what we seek, an address indicates where it is, a route indicates how to get there. The header of each IP packet contains the IP address of the sending host and that of the destination host. IP version: two versions of the Internet Protocol are in common use on the Internet today. The original version of the Internet Protocol that was first deployed in 1983 in the ARPANET. The predecessor of the Internet is Internet Protocol version 4. The rapid exhaustion of IP4 address space available for assignment to Internet service provider and end user organization by the early 1990s. prompted the internet engineering tech force to explore new technologies to expand the addressing capability on the internet. The result was a redesign of the internet protocol which became eventually known as Internet Protocol version 6. IP6 technology was in various testing stages until the mid 2000 when commercial production deployment commenced. Today, these two versions of the Internet Protocol are in simultaneous use. Among other technical changes, each version defines the format of address differently. Because of the historical prevalence of IP4, the generic term IP address typically still refers to the addresses defined by IP4. The gap in version sequence between IP4 and IP6 resulted from the assignment of version 5 to the experimental internal stream protocol in 1979, which however was never referred to as IP5. Other versions V1 to V9 were defined, but only V4 and V6 ever gained widespread use. V1 and V2 were names for TCP protocol in 1974 and 1997. As there was no separate IP specification at the time, V3 was defined in 1978 and V3.1 is the first version where TCP is separated from IP. V6 is a synthesis of several suggested versions. V6 Simple Internet Protocol, V7 TPIX the Next Internet, V8 Pipe, the P Internet Protocol, and V9 Tuba, TCP and UDP with big addresses. Subnetworks. IP networks may be divided into subnetwork in both IP4 and IP6. For this purpose, an IP address is recognized as consisting of two parts: the network prefix in the high order bits and the remaining bits called the rest field, host identifier or internet identifier used for host numbering within the network. The subnet mask or CIDR notation determines how the IP addresses is divided into network and host part. The term subnet mask is only used within IP4. Both IP versions, however, use the CIDR concept and notation. In this, the IP address is followed by a slash and the number in decimal of bits used for the network part, also called the routing prefix. For example, an IPv4 addresses and its subnet mask may be 192.0.2.1 and 255.255.255.0 respectively. The CIDR notation for the same IP address and subnet is 192.0.2.1/24 because the first 24 bits of the IP addresses indicates the network and subnet. Thank you.